Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here and welcome back to my channel and another video that is bringing you all of the paralives news. And speaking of news, this video is sponsored by Elgato and I do have some pretty exciting news for you regarding my sponsor because they have actually just dropped a ring light. So they have 3 different variants of studio and desk lighting. So I have the original key light, which I have attached to my desk. Super space saving and also just great because I just bounce them off the back wall and it doesn't create glare on my glasses. Whereas obviously if I had a ring light, I would have the circle of death on my glasses. But for those of you who are maybe into like makeup, want to do makeup tutorials, or are just looking for a specific ring light to have around your cameras, they do now have one. So definitely go check out that link down below if you want to go check out any of their products. Also the Stream Deck, the capture card, you guys know the drill. I use them for 90% of my setup minus my actual PC. But enough about the Elgato news. We have new paralives news. So I did a video about a month ago now where I did a roundup of all the biggest information that had come out recently about paralives. This one, there's definitely not as much, but there are a couple of things that I have seen floating around the Twitterverse. And also one very important thing that I know a few of you guys will want to get on board with. I'm gonna move this. Sorry, didn't mean to flex on you all there. Who am I? It's a MacBook Air. Who has an Air anymore? Let's be real. I need to upgrade. It's so bad. But yeah, there's a new video and it's called Sebastian's Summer. So let's have a look at it. So I have seen this, but we're gonna be going through it. So we're gonna watch it once through and then I'm gonna do like a frame by frame. So it's called Sebastian's Summer, like I said. This is Sebastian. We got introduced to him in the last video. I will link that down below if you guys have not checked that out. Also, diving into a pool. Hell yeah, pool noodles. What do we call them? We don't call them pool noodles. Just like float. Waddles. Waddles is what we call them. You guys are like, what the heck is a waddle? For you Americans, it's a pool noodle. And then he has a secret super bookcase back there. Sebastian, what are you hiding? Also, paralives, their logo has had an update. This is now the official logo. This is how it's gonna look. It's really nice. I like the way it looks. It's pretty cool. I prefer it over the last one, which was just like text. Definitely looks way more official. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to playback speed. We're gonna go to half playback speed. We did actually see him with a suntan. So there's zip lines, which apparently you can do from like one point to another. The most random activity I think I could possibly think of. And the paralives team were like, yeah, you know what? Seems legit. Let's put it in there. I don't know why, but I freaking love it. Okay, so he's got sun cream on. He's also got sunburn. However, I don't know if this is like meant to be in chronological order. Like he's like ziplined down to the top of his house. Also, really cool that he can dive off the top of here, like into a pool. That's pretty sick. He doesn't have a suntan or a sunburn when he goes back inside, which makes me worried. Unless they just like haven't figured out like how to keep it on. We'll just have to wait and see. So he's got chest hair. We talked about that in the last one where they actually introduced Sebastian to us. Also has sun cream on his face, which I'm guessing works like an accessory. So this is the pool. Honestly, to me, like, the water isn't that impressive. Like, it has a slight reflection, but not really. I definitely don't think it's the best water in a game that I've ever seen, but that's just me being, like, critical of it. The fact that he can freaking dive bomb off the roof of his house is pretty sick, though. That kind of makes up for it. Also, I've joked about this before, but when this game first came into my Twitter mentions, someone was like, rate this out of 10. And I said 2 out of 10, not enough plants. I got so many angry people being like, you're a game changer. You'd say that. You hate anything that can compete against The Sims. But ever since that moment, the paralives team has stepped it up and there's been foliage in every single trailer. So I'm not saying that I'm an influencer, but guys, I might be an influencer because this, like, ivy looks cool. I like the ripples. I just don't think the water looks that great. I really want to know if they can use these waddles now. I also just got teleported back to being in like year 4 and in my local swimming pool. Did you guys do the same thing? Like I had to wear goggles as a kid. I couldn't open my eyes underwater. Chlorine kills my eyes. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's to do with the fact that I have psoriasis. Probably not. I'm probably just a dramatic child. But I was a water baby and loved it, but I couldn't go underwater without goggles, and my mum literally had to write a note to my swimming teacher to be like, Molly has to wear goggles if she's going underwater. Did anyone else have to suffer that? So this is his kitchen. This is my favorite part of the whole thing. Like I said, he doesn't currently have the sunburn. Also a little bit of clipping on his cheeky little peck there. He's ripping out of his vest by the look of it, but he took his shoes off. This is like a biggest pet peeve of mine. I am a shoes off at the door kind of girl. I don't care where I am. I don't care whose home I'm in. I don't care if the house is being freaking renovated and it's half outside. I will take my shoes off no matter what. I just hate wearing shoes into my own house, and I hate wearing them into other people's house. Even if they're like, no, you can keep your shoes on, that's totally fine. Absolutely not. I'm taking my freaking shoes off at the door. I want to be comfy in my own house, and I want to be comfy in someone else's house, and that means walking around in socks. So I appreciate the fact that he took his shoes off as he came in the door. It's been my biggest pet peeve of The Sims, that they constantly walk around, minus in their like sleepwear. Then they just walk around with their shoes on. So this is his house. There's still boxes. He still looks like he's kind of moving. And then, like I said, this is a secret little bookcase. I don't know what he's hiding under there. Maybe it's like a cinema room. He does actually have a child, so maybe this is like, I don't know, like a play room for the kid. Maybe it's daddy's playroom. I don't know. Who am I? Who am I to judge Sebastian? I also love the lighting in this, like his shadow and like the framing and how the lighting works. It looks really nice. I think there's a stairs. I'm like, is that a ladder? But I think those might be stairs, but I can't tell. They look pretty flat against the wall though, so maybe it is a ladder. I'm really not too sure. I feel like we haven't seen enough of it. Then there's like a grated vent up here. This plant we've seen before. Love the artwork. We didn't really talk about the way that the rest of the house looked. So this is his kitchen. We've already seen this when they created him. Loads of different plants, like I said. I'm an influencer. Then we have some pots and pans, a mirror up here, which is actually where they edited him up in the last video that we watched together. Like I said, he has a kid, so this is obviously a kid's drawing that he has on the fridge that's also magnetized up on there. And then the new Paralives logo. And then over on Twitter, in response to this, ignore Bojo over here, but the team replied with things you'll be able to do in Paralives. Place a zip line between point A and point B and let your paras enjoy it. If you missed it, paras are basically how we call Sims. They're basically the people that live in Paralives. Jump into a pool from a high place if your para is brave enough, which sounds like it could be some sort of trait system, maybe Sebastian has the brave trait. I don't really know. I would love to see how they're gonna handle personality. I'm kind of hoping, now that we've seen a little bit of gameplay here or there, I'm kind of hoping that they'll start like showing off, like they've showed off character creation but not really like any of the personality side of things. That for me is such a big part of simulation games. I love having personality. It's what I'm desperately craving for in The Sims 4, but I really want to see that when it comes to Paralives. I want to see what they have up their sleeves. Set a house rule so paras remove their shoes when entering a house. Love that. And use a secret bookcase. So these are obviously 4 very like quick interactions that have shown. They haven't really shown like the UI, how to like choose an action or anything like that, but it is heading in the right direction and showing off gameplay when it comes to paralives. And then the second thing that I wanted to talk about, which I know some of you guys may be interested in, because as you know, I have talked about this here on my channel before. I actually did a full collaboration with Jessica, and we talked about disabilities and representation of disabilities when it comes to The Sims 4. And Paralives actually put out a Google form about what representation you would like to see when it comes to disabilities. Should they not be included? So do you have a disability, chronic illness, impairment, or are you neurodivergent? We would like to hear your feedback with this survey. So they are fully asking the community. I'm gonna drop a retweet on this actually, but yeah, they're fully asking the community to like get involved, what you guys would like to see, wouldn't like to see, because I know there are plenty of people in the comment section saying like, hey, I have a certain disability and I don't really want it represented in the game. And then I know that there are a lot of people who do want to see their disabilities represented. So this is basically like getting all the opinions on that. This survey is meant to educate ourselves on what could be added to the game and what should not. We don't intend on adding specific mental illnesses or physical disabilities, but rather positive focused actions, traits, and characteristics. So if you want to help out with the development of this and pushing this representation into Paralives as a game, definitely go check out that link. I will link that in the description down below. Words are hard on a Monday as I'm recording this. I know it's going up on a Tuesday, but I've had very little sleep. So I'll link the form, or I'll link the tweet so you guys can go find it. If you want to take part in that, then definitely do. This is what I love about the Para team. They're literally out here like listening to the community, seeing what people want, asking for people's opinions right from the get-go. They've been doing this. So it's really nice to see that they're continuing on with it and like seeing what representation people do want, people don't want, and just giving people a say in their game, basically. And as always, if you want to support the team, they do actually have a Patreon. I will link that down below as well. I actually need to get myself on board with that Patreon because honestly, this game is shaping up to be a really good game and I'm really looking forward to it. I do kind of wish there was more news on it just because I am that excited, but I'm excited to see like the sort of personality and like actual little details that are going into it. That's what I'm really excited for. So let me know how you guys are feeling about the future of Paralives. It's looking good. I'm glad we got some gameplay that like settles fears, although I definitely trust this team now. Like I definitely feel like they want this game to be the best that it can be, and you kind of see that with them asking the community. So it's really sick to see an indie company just like absolutely smashing it right now. So if you guys want to go support them, as I said, there will be a Patreon link down below. Thank you all so much for watching this video and supporting me, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye guys!